Michael went missing from his neighborhood in Fruitland in July of 2021. He was just 5 years old at the time. We have a map to show you of the area. You can see the home police are searching in proximity to where Michael's home is as we zoom in on this map. It's only about 4 minutes away.
So I just want to talk about something about our flesh, just from my own personal. So a lot of us, we want to think that, other people are good. We want to think about the good in people, right? We want to also think about the good enough, but really the only good enough is Jesus, if you have to. Because all of our good works are filthy rags, but let me tell you, we all know things about ourselves, and you know you do, that scare yourself sometimes about yourself. We all have those things inside that if we were to act in our flesh, we know, as believers anyway, or unbelievers are already in their flesh, but you know that part of you scares the crap out of you, because you don't want to act that way, but really the only one that's holding you back from being like that is Jesus when you're a believer. But when you're an unbeliever, you don't have a lot to hold you back from those urges or those things. You have a conscience, God gives you a conscience, But the evil that's inside of our bodies, our flesh, is extremely evil, and we all know the thoughts that we've all had. We may not, a lot of us probably haven't acted on all those thoughts, but those thoughts, that's from your flesh, from the sinful nature, or from Satan himself. So those things, those evil thoughts, when God takes back the restrainer, when God removes all that is good, that is holding it all back, those things are most likely going to take over yourself. So think about that. Jesus is the only answer to anything. He's the answer to our salvation, to holding back our own self, being self-controlled. Now, I'm a work in progress, and self-control has not always come easy to me in most levels, but God's teaching me how to be self-controlled through Him. I can't do it on my own. And that self-control also does not hold back evil in our flesh. And I mean, this world is evil, but it's going to get even worse. That's what I mean,
July 27th, 2021. Same day Michael went missing. This one has me equally as confused, and still looks like she's forcing those tears out.
I didn't really want to post this, but I can't stop crying because he doesn't want anybody to be lost. There's just no time's running out, and I just don't want anybody to be lost.
Here's another interesting one.
It's a warning to all believers. Be weary of your day ones and your childhood friends, that they are not a vessel for Jesus Christ. They are a vessel sent by the enemy. What was once something so innocent, now that you have chosen your side in this walk, can become something so wicked and divisive. The devil will use anybody as a Trojan horse into your inner circle and your soul to influence you, to be able to say, Jesus, Jesus, did we not cast out demons in your name? And he will say, depart from me, I never knew you. Be careful.
So this is my first video for a while. Sorry, I'm a pimple. Anyway, it doesn't matter. God's really been having to teach me a lesson in humility lately. That's why I haven't been on, because I've been doing this lesson that God's been showing me about loving my neighbor as myself and what that looks like, and also learning to get over myself. That's something I've been having to do. I got a dog recently. I know Jesus is coming soon, but I have a dog. Literally so I could skip the poop. Sounds crazy, but I need the humility. So I just wanted to put out there that a lesson God's taught me lately about our sin. So, when Jesus was on the cross and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, he forgave it all. Literally every sin that you see being committed today is already forgiven. It's already wiped away. The truth is that there's only really one sin left to be had, and that's unbelief. When you believe in Jesus, he covers you with his blood that he shed for all the sin in the world. He literally died for all sins. Every ugly sin, every ugly thing you've ever seen or heard about, God died for it already. That's why they say he's already won the war. Because the sin's already washed away. They're forgiven. No matter what they've done. No matter anything. The only thing that can keep you from going to heaven now is unbelieving. And by the way, I really need to pluck my eyebrows. Oh man, just please pray for me. I don't know. I know God is coming. Jesus is coming. I don't ever want to be found sleeping. Just help me. Pray, praying for me. I need some serious prayer for my sisters and brothers in Christ. If you're not in Christ, you're not praying for me. I need some serious prayer. I'm under a lot of spiritual attack from the enemy and from within my own flesh. And I'm like struggling because I'm surrounded by a lot of loud people who either don't believe in Christ or it's really hard right now. No matter how much you feel like it's chaos, no matter how much the devil stirs up confusion or evil or all these things, strife, God is in control, 100%. I can tell you that from personal experience, God is in control, 100%.
Woman arrested in connection to Michael Vaughan case. This is bittersweet, and this is going to be a hard read, y'all. Bear with me. Woman arrested in connection to Michael Vaughn case. Sarah Wandra, the occupant of the home being searched in Fruitland, was charged with failure to report a death. Fruitland, Idaho. Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff has confirmed to KTVB that a woman has been arrested in connection to the disappearance of Michael Vaughn. Huff says Sarah Wandra, 35, is one of the occupants of the home that investigators have been searching since Friday night. Wandra was arrested and booked into the Payette County Jail over the weekend on a charge of failure to report a death. Our investigation determined Sarah Wandra may have had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report it, Huff said. We do not believe she is the only person that has knowledge of this, and we will be seeking out those people who could possibly be connected. Huff previously said a credible lead brought them to the home on Red Wing Street in Fruitland, 4 minutes from Michael's home. The credible lead, Huff said, came from another occupant inside the house. According to Idaho court records, the felony charge that Wandra faces says the person being charged is accused of not reporting a death to authorities with the intent to prevent discovery of the manner of death. Wandra was arraigned in court Monday afternoon. Judge Brian Lee set her bond at $500,000 and is requiring she be electronically monitored while she awaits her next hearing. The state initially asked for a $1 million bond to be set, saying she's a danger to the community, and cited a previous firearms charge that Wandra was already on pretrial release for. However, the defense asked for a reduction that the judge granted. Wandra is scheduled to appear in court for her next hearing on November 21st at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and the following day at 9 a.m. on November 22nd. The state asked the judge to seal the probable cause affidavit in the meantime because of concern over the impact it would have on the investigation. Judge Lee granted the request and sealed the affidavit, saying there are risks to harm of persons should that information be released. To be clear, police have not said publicly that they have located Michael or his remains as of Monday. The search is continuing Monday in the backyard of a house in Fruitland for possible remains of now 6-year-old Michael Vaughn, who went missing from his neighborhood in July of 2021. Whole time this happened new. Whole time.
We will next take up the case of Sarah Wandra.
Excuse me, Your Honor, do you need me for anything else today?
No, thank you very much for your help.
All right, you're welcome.
Are you Sarah Wandra? Ma'am, can you hear me? I need you to move in a little closer to the mic. I'm unable to hear you.
No, I'm Stacy Wandra.
Okay. You're Stacy Wandra?
I'm Sarah Wandra, sorry.
You're Sarah. Okay, thank you.
What?
Ms. Wandra, in this case, which is CR 38221769, you are charged with having violated the law in one count. It is alleged that you did on or about the 12th day of November of this year here in the state of Idaho fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughn, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death. That is a felony here in the state of Idaho. Do you understand the allegation that's been made against you?
I understand what they said. It's not correct.
All right. Well, you have a number of rights when you are charged with a crime. The deputies typically hand out a document that describes those rights in detail. Did you receive a document like that?
They're giving me documents right now.
All right. So in a criminal case, ma'am, you have the right to remain silent as it relates to the underlying charges. You have the right to require the state to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to cross-examine and confront the evidence the state may put on in an effort to prove its case, the right to testify in your own defense if you wish to, the right to use subpoenas to bring witnesses and evidence to the trial as you may determine to be appropriate, and the right to be represented by an attorney at all stages of these proceedings. Do you understand that you have those rights?
I have those rights, but I don't have any speech now because I didn't have the phone.
All right, well, so I'm going to remind you that you have the right to remain silent. I'm not going to say anything to you or ask you any questions that are designed to get you to speak about or encourage you to speak about the underlying events. Everyone who gives up that right and does speak about the case or make any statement at all about it, of course, those can be used against you. So I'll remind you of that. As it relates to your right to an attorney, do you intend to ask me to appoint an attorney at public expense? Do you intend to hire your own counsel or represent yourself in this case?
What?
Okay. Do you want me to appoint an attorney to help you at county expense? All right, let me have you raise your right hand to be sworn so I can ask questions to be sure you qualify. You solemnly swear the testimony that you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wandra, what is your current physical address?
1102 Bergen Street, Portland, Idaho.
Current telephone number? Don't scratch that, I'm not going to ask you about that right now. Who is your current employer? And what is your typical income in a week?
I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know the exact amount. I haven't been doing any tax drives lately.
More or less than $500 a week?
Only more than 500.
So are you working at all right now?
Well, obviously not because I'm in jail. But
Wow. Wow.
work day to day.
Right, so I'm just trying to get an idea of what your typical income is. Obviously, when a person's in custody, they can't generate income.
I don't know exactly.
All right.
Well, do
Do
you
you own
want
any
to?
land or buildings anymore?
I don't own the money.
How much money do you have in the bank or cash on hand?
There has to change in my purse.
Do you own any personal property worth more than $1,000?
Give everything to the most I got, but I am partially car, but I also don't own the whole thing.
Meaning you owe money against it to someone?
No, I have owned it with my dad.
I see. All right, if you find me qualified for the appointment of an attorney, I'm going to appoint in this case Ms. Jolene Maloney. I did review an affidavit of probable cause in this case and do for purposes of this appearance find probable cause. What's the state's position, if any, on bond?
Your Honor, the state is asking for a relatively high bond. Obviously, there are implications associated with this charge. And this is the young boy that we're talking about has been missing for a year and a half. And so, it should be noted that Ms. Wandra is on a pretrial release for federal gun charges for felon in possession of a firearm. And so, and while that would have happened after Michael Vaughn initially disappeared, I think it shows that she's a danger to the community, and she fails to abide by the social norms that we all expect. That there are obviously very serious implications in her being aware of his whereabouts this whole time. So the state's asking for a $1 million bond.
Ms. Maloney, what presentation would you like to make?
Your Honor, I recognize these are serious allegations. I would ask that the court consider the charges as they presently are and how they are articulated within the probable cause affidavit and the absence of certain facts which may create issues with probable cause. I recognize that the court may have some concern regarding release. At this time, however, I would ask that the court consider any electronic monitoring in lieu or in conjunction with a lower bond, less than $1 million. $1 million.
All right, in this case, the court, as it does in all cases, of course, takes into account Idaho Criminal 46 and the factors set forth there, specifically problematic as it relates to a release conditions or on Ms. Wander's own recognizance or her criminal history, which the court would provide as part of the probable cause affidavit, the possibility of violations of law, were she to be released, and the inability to necessarily manage those effectively with restrictions on her release, the nature of her criminal history, certainly would bring her character and reputation into question or disrepute. Unfortunately, taking those factors into account, the court set bond in this case in the amount of $500,000. Should that bond be posted, Ms. Wander must immediately sign up for pretrial release services to be monitored. She must be fitted with a GPS tracking device prior to her release from custody. She must not commit crimes pending the resolution of this case. She must not leave the state of Idaho. She must remain sober. Maintain contact with her attorney, attend all of her court hearings, sign a waiver of extradition, and sign up for pretrial release before leaving, otherwise the Fayette County Courthouse complex. We're going to set this for a status conference and review hearing on the 21st and 22nd of November. The status conference will be at 10 a.m. on the 21st and the preliminary hearing at 9 a.m. on the 22nd.
Your Honor, prior to the court recessing, may we take up a procedural issue?
Yes, I did receive, in this case, a motion. So, you filed my court just handed to me a motion to seal at least the affidavit of probable cause, as I understand. Is that right, Mr. Newton?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Does the defense object to taking that up now?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr.
Your Honor, the state's requesting that the probable cause affidavit be sealed. Obviously, this is a high-profile case, and there are privacy concerns as well as jury trial concerns, and in addition to those articulated in the motion, there is still an ongoing investigation, so we worry about the impact that releasing certain details in the PC affidavit would have on the investigation. So we respectfully request that the court seal the PC affidavit, at least temporarily, until we can have a flesh out those matters. Thank you.
Ms. Maloney, what response do you have, if any? If you have an objection at all, I suppose.
Your Honor, defense joins the motion, and I think it's appropriate pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32, little I to big E, that this could jeopardize future proceedings given the public nature of this case at this time. So I would ask that the court grant the state's motion.
All right. I've reviewed Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32, I, and the authority the courts have to exercise discretion in the sealing or not of court documents. And I am going to seal the affidavit of probable cause and the investigative reports attached thereto pursuant to the motion, specifically taking into account subpart 2E and the preservation of right to a fair trial. The court is aware of the intense public interest in this matter and how publication of the details of this case may interfere with the ability to panel a jury and receive a fair trial in the case. In addition, of less focus, I suppose, for the court, there are some risks of harm to persons should that information be publicly available. And so in the circumstances of this case, the interest in privacy predominates over public disclosure, as is set forth in subpart I-1. I'll ask you to prepare an order detailing the findings as required by the rule and sealing the case. Of course, this is something that's subject to being revisited should that be determined to be appropriate or necessary. So, the order will last until it's revisited by this court or so. Do you have any questions about that?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else to take up today from either of you?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be in recess.
See, there is they're excavating the entire yard. We were told about 3 to 4 inches. You can see that dump truck there. They have been taking piles of dirt out. Where they're taking it, they said they're taking it to an off-site location where it will be processed. Now, like I said before, police obtained a search warrant and began working Friday night. They have plans to dig 3 to 4 feet deep. You can see a backhoe just went in, and it's being used to dig up the topsoil. Now, Huff said in no way that they believe what they are doing now will contaminate any sort of evidence that they find, if they do find any.
We just have to continue to process this, and if it yields, it yields. You know, I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword. Do I hope? Not really. You know, I hope that Michael is still alive and that we can bring him home safely to his family. But we also know that we need to find resolution to this case, and you know, we need to just follow the leads and follow the credible information, and that's what we'll continue to do.
No matter what we feel on the outside looking in, we could never really imagine what the families are going through. I send my sincerest condolences from myself and my entire crew here on YouTube. God bless you guys.
You have no right to stop it. You are not law enforcement. So what you're doing is you are hindering Michael's case. Stop it, please. Let them do their jobs. They are doing an amazing job, and they continue to do an amazing job. And the things you're doing and pulling right now is unacceptable, because you know what you're doing. If some of these things that are going on right now are factual, you are hurting anything of justice for my son. Now stop it.